Alright. It's alright, I stopped the stream just because I didn't want to have to manually separate the videos, and instead it would be way easier just to do this. Next chapter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Next chapter. I should have brought some water up here or something. Jesus. Ooh, I have some. Nice. Water break. Oh, yeah, that felt good. Okay, cool. The beginning of this video is going to be a little bit... I'm just going to check that everything is working. So we're going to go to my thing really quickly. Might be some overlap. I will mute it. Mute. Fantastic. Okay, so that is working. That's good. Where's the, okay, that's fine, because it's live, it's like, boom. Okay, good. Everything's great. Everything is overlapping and super cool. Great! Alright, we're gonna close out of that and continue doing everything that is that we were doing. Whee! Probably only gonna read chapter 3. And then, not gonna do chapter 4, because I forgot how straight reading is kind of hard on my voice. Hard on voices in general. And then we just check the audio really quickly. Is that good? That's good. Alright, bueno. Won't Tell a Soul, chapter 3. Oh my god, this is high. This is really high. Oh, crap! Nino squealed, latching on tightly to the laughing spotted woman who supported his weight as she effortlessly yo-yoed her way up the side of the Eiffel Tower. Ladybug rolled her eyes, taking a short break on one of the support beams, but Nino refused to let his feet touch metal, feeling more comfort from being wrapped around her. She giggled, shifting his weight slightly and raising the yo-yo in her free hand. "We can go back down, you know. Just give the word and I'll take you home." Nino gulped, looking down and instantly regretting it, but still adding, "Nope! No, this is fine, I can do this, let's just go to the top, but if you even pretend to drop me, I'm never speaking to you again." She burst out laughing again, and he could actually hear the distant giggles from Tiki still inside the earrings as they started their climb again. It was freaking ridiculous. She was getting the both of them up without breaking a sweat, swinging willy-frickin'-nilly all over the damn place. You know, Nino was struck once again by how impractical of a weapon a yo-yo was. This was ridiculous, right? It was a yo-yo. But then again, maybe he was just having a crisis, realizing the only thing between him and a billion-foot drop was a yo-yo string, magical or otherwise. Watching her transform again had been surreal, now that he was actually intended to see it had been so close when it happened. He could actually feel the weird, indescribable energy that suddenly flooded the alleyway, and it was bizarre to realize that this must have been magic. Real magic. Trying to cope with the fact that his friend was actually a superhero was still a struggle, but the longer he spent with her as Ladybug, the easier it was to see the lines blur. She still had Mary's giggle, Mary's sass. The hero in spots he had come to idolize really had been that friendly, cute designer. Who knew one day that smiley girl who sat behind him in class would be towing him up the side of the Eiffel Tower? God, they were high. "Okay, Nino," her voice suddenly reached him. "There is a little landing here. Get your footing." Nino looked down, seeing a small platform above even the highest point civilians could go, and ignoring the huge drop-off just beyond it. Following orders and setting his weight down and away from his escort. He didn't let go of her completely, still holding onto her shoulder and focusing on where he stood. "Nino, take a look," she said softly, drawing his gaze first to her, then to the sprawling cityscape. "Isn't the view amazing?" Nino somehow forgot about his crippling fear of plummeting to the ground, the sight of Paris from such a high vantage point taking his breath away. He could feel his jaw drop, soaking in the distant, living details of the city he had grown up in. He could sense Ladybug, Marinette, looking at him, a smile on her face as she watched the distant flowing lines of traffic down city streets. He could see movement in a splash of green, a park surrounded by buildings, and a large white block of a moving van trundling through tiny side streets. Well, to say large was ridiculous. It was no bigger than an ant. Nothing was. He was so high above everything, the sounds of the city only just making it to him on a breeze. It was something completely awe-inspiring. "Wow," he whispered, his head moving from side to side to try and see as much as he could. "This is insane." "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Ladybug responded, gently pulling Nino down to sit and keeping loose hold on one of his arms. "No matter how busy I get, I always try and find some time to remind myself how special our city is." "No place like Paris," he murmured, his tightly coiled muscles from the climb unwinding. It was hard to be afraid, really. He knew Ladybug wouldn't let him fall. And who knew when he'd get to see something like this again? Almost if she had read his mind, she said quietly, "I can take you up here any time you'd like. Or anywhere else, really, so long as there isn't an attack." "Thanks," he said simply, still so caught up in the view, but luckily she wasn't offended. She just laughed. "I love being up here. Actually, I think there is still some old trash from the last time me and Cat were—" "Yep." Nino looked over at her exclamation, chuckling when he saw her shaking her head at a handful of pastry wrappers. "I told that cat to clean these up when he came down. He must have forgotten." "Here, give him to me," Nino said, reaching out for them before she could respond. He shoved them in his pocket, saying, "Don't want them blowing away and being litter, right? Can't be a good role model if you're breaking the law." Ladybug laughed, looking back out over the city. "A role model, huh? I have to admit, never really saw myself as being one of those." "Seriously?" Nino blurted out, blushing slightly and looking away as well when she gave him a quizzical look. "Sorry, that just doesn't make a lot of sense." "What do you mean?" Far below them, the pair could hear the honking of a car horn and the varied sounds of traffic as the city lived and breathed. Nino thought over his words before responding. "Well, I just mean, like, of course you're a role model, marionette or otherwise. There are tons of people who want to be like you." "What?" she said again, sounding genuinely confused, but he still didn't look over. "I sort of get how Ladybug could be that for people, but—" "Well, you're Ladybug, right?" he said with an awkward laugh, glancing to the side. "That's sort of been the point of all this, hasn't it?" "But no, like you, too. Like Marinette, I mean. You're brave and kind and always do what you think is right. You try and help other people no matter what, even if it's hard or scary. That seems like a pretty good role model to me. I mean, you've always been an inspiration, so, like, there isn't much difference." He figured he would be embarrassed saying something so lame and mushy, but he actually wasn't. There wasn't any reason to be embarrassed. It was just true. Marinette was amazing. Something about her small gasp, though, was funny, and he couldn't help but chuckle. "Thank you," she finally responded, her voice mixing with the dull, distant sounds of the city like it was meant to be there. And he laughed. He said something like, "No problem," and to his surprise, his voice didn't sound out of place either. Maybe that meant he really was in it now. As he looked out over the city, feet dangling over a massive drop, he couldn't help but think that this was pretty damn crazy. "Whoa, getting a call," Ladybug suddenly said, and Nino looked over in time to see a small green phone symbol flashing on the back of her yo-yo. He was about to speak when she flipped it open, staring into it as something he couldn't see and saying, "Hey, Cat, what is it?" "Oh, Cat Noir is calling her," Nino thought with an internally excited squeal, but his thoughts were instantly more serious when it dawned on him what the call was probably about. "Hello, my lady," Cat Noir's voice purred, and Nino fought back a snicker when Ladybug rolled her eyes, instantly at attention when Cat said, "It's about that boy you sent me after, Adrien." "Is he all right?" Lady immediately asked, and Cat Noir was quick to reply. "Yes, I get why you sent me after him. He's pretty handsome, isn't he? You're not playing favorites, are you, Ladybug?" Before she could stop herself, Ladybug smiled into her hand, almost like she was trying to smother it. "Ugh, he is, isn't he? I'm glad he's okay." Nino could hear Cat's distant, "Wait, what?" even if Ladybug seemed to miss it, and he bit back another laugh. "Hear that, Nino? Adrien is just fine, so no need to worry," Ladybug said with a grin, and Nino gave her a thumbs up before Cat Noir cut in. "Nino? Wait, are you with somebody? Where are you?" Ladybug pulled a very marionette-like expression when she realized her mistake, laughing awkwardly as she said, yeah. Nino was the one who told me Adrien needed finding. We were... Nino could see Ladybug floundering for an excuse and decided to lean into frame, suddenly faced with Cat Noir's surprised expression. "Ladybug came by to wait with me until we heard news about Adrien. Yeah, so, thanks for finding him, dude. I appreciate it." Nino grinned as innocently as possible into the camera, Cat Noir's face looking thoroughly puzzled as he said, "Okay." There was a small space of silence where Nino and Ladybug both grinned very suspicious grins, and Cat Noir just stared, before finally he said, well, your friend is fine. He appreciates your concern." "Is he there with you?" Nino asked, and quirked an eyebrow at how quickly Cat Noir said no. Sort of weird, but whatever. No, I took him home, so, he's home now." "Yeah," he said weirdly, the entire phone call and everyone involved being super weird. If this is how smoothly Nino's secret-keeping was going to go, he was completely screwed. "Whoop, I'm gonna go take Nino home too then," Ladybug suddenly blurted, laughing awkwardly. "I'll see you for patrol tonight." "Oh!" she suddenly exclaimed, narrowing her eyes. "And if you breed food again, clean it up. Poor Nino's got his pocket stuffed with your wrappers because you didn't throw them out." Cat Noir blinked once, looking to Nino and then back to Ladybug before saying, "Yeah, sure thing. I'll see you tonight then." "See you tonight," Ladybug agreed, ending the call before anything else could go wrong. As soon as the call was terminated, both Nino and Ladybug sighed heavily, smiling sheepishly at each other. "We should head down," Ladybug said without any more ado, standing up and supporting Nino. "Let's not make this any more complicated than it already is." Cat Noir stared at his baton as the call ended, stood on a rooftop and scratching his head. Okay, it was safe to say that both of them were being weird. Nino was always sort of weird around superheroes, but he was being extra weird. And Ladybug was flubbing her words and all over the place. And also she had absolutely called him handsome, but he would deal with that in a second. The thing that stuck out in his mind was the last thing she had said. "Poor Nino's got his pocket stuffed with your wrappers because you didn't throw them out." Cat Noir stood for another moment before he turned, looking towards the Eiffel Tower standing tall in the distance. Were they up there? He held up his baton, taking the camera and zooming in on the top of the tower just on a hunch, and jumped slightly in surprise when he saw exactly that, Ladybug swinging down the side of the tower holding Nino in one arm. He gaped at the bizarre image for a moment more before lowering the camera, staring in confusion out into space. Why had they been waiting up there? Nino was trying to get over how emasculating it felt to be carried bridal style over the rooftops of Paris, mostly because Ladybug refused to let him walk and seemed to think it was funny how he gradually got more comfortable. "Hey, you make a pretty good chauffeur," Nino joked as they landed on the roof of his apartment building. Ladybug set him down and he smoothed at his shirt, shaking a cramp out of his leg while she smiled at him. "Well, don't get used to it. I'm not carting you over all the time," she retorted playfully, the two of them standing there a little awkwardly, not quite making eye contact. "Man, this is going to take getting some used to," Ladybug said after a small pause, fidgeting with her yo-yo while Nino scuffed his shoe on the loose gravel. "We can do it, though," Nino said simply, forcing himself to look at her and smile genuinely. "Me and you are in this thing together now, so that means if you ever need to talk about all this super crap, I've got you. And if you need someone to cover for you at school, I got that too. I might not have any superpowers, but I make a pretty poor Robin to your Batman, but I can at least do that much." Ladybug blinked, staring at him with a slightly open mouth before she started to giggle, the giggle growing into a laugh that had her head thrown back. Nino smiled at the sound, and eventually he found himself laughing too, the awkwardness he felt between them burning up in the laughter. When she looked back down, her eyes were shining as she said, "That sounds good, though I'd peg you more for Alfred than Robin any day." Nino was grinning when he suddenly bowed, putting on his best British accent when he said, "Master Wayne." They laughed a little while more before Nino snapped his finger, pointing at her triumphantly as he said, "Hey, B can be Batman now too." She giggled, shaking her head at him with a smirk. "I think I prefer Bug, DJ." Nino laughed, giving a thumbs up. "So that's us then, DJ and B. This could be the start of something beautiful." He would remember how she looked just then for a long time, smiling at him with the kind of brightness in her eyes that was so entirely her, hands on her hips while still transformed as Ladybug on the roof of his apartment building. It really did feel like the start of something great, the friendship between a superhero and civilian number 14. Now, though, he didn't really feel like just another scared citizen of Paris running for cover, because every time there was attack now, he would always be looking over his shoulder for her. Now there was everyone in Paris, Ladybug and Cat Noir, and Nino. What a weird feeling. "I'll see you at school, DJ," Ladybug said at last, stepping backward towards the edge of the building. "And remember, it's our secret, okay?" Nino crossed his arms and still smiling happily at her as she prepared to zip away. "Yeah, our secret. You can count on me, Bea. See you tomorrow. With that, she nodded once and then dove off the edge, flying effortlessly through Paris as her friend watched from the rooftop, adjusting his cap with a grin. Man, what a weird feeling. Nino took a deep breath, calming himself a little before heading towards the door, wordlessly making his way home with a million things running through his head. As he stepped in the elevator, he thought to check his phone, seeing a few messages from Adrian confirming what Cat Noir had said, and letting him know that he was all right. Now, though, it was Adrian asking where he was. I'm home now. Good to know you're okay. What have you been thinking, dude? What were you even thinking, dude? Why did you run off like that? Nino pulled a key from his pocket and unlocked the front door, walking in on an empty apartment and flicking on the lights. He set his key down to the clatter on the counter, picking up a sticky note left from his mom. Looks like they went out for some shopping, so he was alone for now. Why sticky notes? He had a phone. Why waste the paper? He walked into his room and collapsed into his desk chair, swiveling in wide circles as he attempted to process everything. He tossed his headphones to the safety of his bed, taking off his cap and putting it down on the desk once he started to get nauseous and stopped spinning. His phone went off and he frowned down at the message. Sorry, Nino, I didn't mean to freak you out. I wanted to make sure people were okay, but I'm totally fine, so don't sweat it. You're okay too? Nino huffed out a lungful of air as he typed a quick response. Yeah, I'm cool. At least I get more study time. He tossed his phone away, sagging into his chair and staring at the ceiling. He did not have the presence of mind to study. Screw that. He was still coping with the fact that things like Kiwami were even real. He wasn't going to do literature homework. Know what he could do, though? Nap. Nap like crazy. Nino switched off the lights and rolled face first into his bed, glad that no matter how crazy everything got, he would always have his bed. You're not a superhero, right, Bed? Nino said aloud, patting the comforter with one hand while he continued to talk with a muffled voice. Nah, you're just a bed. Plain old bed. No magical crap. There was a lengthy space of silence where he actually tried to fall asleep, but then all at once he was groaning, clutching a pillow over his head. He groaned, the events of the past hour and a half flashing through his head. Ah, Marinette! Ah! He shouted into his mattress, thumping it with his fists. It was just too freaking crazy. It was crazy! Marinette was Ladybug, and he knew that now. He was in on it. He was Alfred, she was Batman, and he was pretty cool with that, because Alfred is super awesome, but like magic. Magic, dude. Just freaking magic. Tiny, adorable, giggling red creatures with cute names and unimaginable power. And cute, giggling, tiny designer girl with also unimaginable power. But she was still Marinette. She still tripped over her own feet sometimes and still hated history and still loved hamsters. She just also wore spots sometimes and manhandled some more terrifying bad guys than you could ever imagine. No big deal, whatevs, bro, don't mind me, just juggling my bakery shift-lit homework and world-saving like it's nothing. How did Marinette deal? He wasn't even prepped for his test when he had literally nothing else going on. How did she keep her grades up while running off for precedence all the time? Nino settled down a bit, still face down on his bed and his glasses askew. Hell, that must be so stressful, doing all that without even having anyone to talk to about it. It sort of explained the way she had been talking before, so genuine relieved to share something with someone. Like, did she ever get scared? If you had asked him before, he would have said that Ladybug didn't get scared of anything. No way, no how. She was unstoppable. Now, though, well, she was a person. She had always been a person, but she had also always been sort of an idea. Not quite real, you know? But she was Marinette. Kind, nice Marinette. And he wondered if she got scared. If you asked him now, he would say that Ladybug was amazing, able to save the day even if she got scared, which in his eyes made her even more unstoppable. Nino rolled onto his back, staring at the ceiling through his smudged glasses, wondering if he was going to be of any help. Would just having a shoulder to lean on help her out at all? He hoped so. He didn't want her dealing with it on her own anymore, not when he had a chance to help. Even if it was picking up a shift at the bakery or doing his homework twice so she could get some sleep at night, he would do it. She had saved his life 1,000,000 times, saved everyone's life, and had always been a good friend. He was going to help. He wanted to help. He wanted to be there for Mary from here on out. The day had been exhausting, stressful, and pretty insane, and he had been tired even before everything went down. He started to drift off, his pounding headache from exhaustion finally starting to fade as he fell into a dreamless sleep, pastry wrappers spilling out of his pockets. The last thing he said came out in a murmur, saying into the emptiness of his room, "I've got your back, Bea." Oh, that's the end of chapter 3. Boom. Alright, so that is the end of chapter 3. Boom! Let's turn that off for a second. Hi, everybody. It's me. Didn't have a face cam while I was doing that. So, I'm going to take this small opportunity to plug 2 things now at the end of this. If you are watching this as it is being live and going out, I have a t-shirt campaign that is ending tomorrow. So today is your last day to buy a t-shirt if you would like one. I would love it if you did. It supports me. Money goes to me. Don't have a job right now, so that's super bueno. Also, on the same note, if anybody wants an art commission, what's up? Talk to me about it. But, also, going up in 2 hours from when this is being live streamed, so it's going to be 5 p.m. PST on February 6th, 2017, if you're watching this way later. There is something super, super fucking cool that is going up. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a teaser. Just a little bit of a teaser. Right when I gotta find it, because it's somewhere. You know what? I'll just show you the cover. I'll do that. Let's do that. Hang on. Boom. Image. Should I have had this ready to go before? Yes! Did I not have it ready to go before? You bet your bottom dollar. 'Cause I'm an unprepared person. Boom. Ooh, super fucking huge. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, give a shout out to the 2017 calendar. I want you guys to see the whole thing because like the dimensions are a little bit weird as compared to this, but this is the cover for the Miraculous Ladybug 2017 calendar as produced by fans for fans, completely 100% free. It's going to be going up in 2 hours and you guys are finally going to get to see it, and also the guidebook, because the guidebook has loads and loads of art that is detailing all of the culture, like a lot of the major holidays for a lot of the cultures represented in the show. Jewish holidays, Muslim holidays, Moroccan holidays, reunion holidays, French holidays, all sorts of shit. Who knows? It's great. And it's going to be super fucking cool. And there's a bunch of cool stuff that you guys are going to be all about. Let's turn that on. Let's turn this off. So that's another little bit of a tease. Little bit of a tease about what you can expect to see. This is an example of what part of one of the pages is going to look like. So if you would like to see the whole thing, please, please, please give it a download. Completely 100% free. Going to be available on Miraculous ML Calendar Project, Tumblr. Also, I'll blog it on my Tumblr. 2017. You can have calendar for the rest of the year. Yes, I know it's already February, but making calendars is hard, yo. We had a lot of formatting and stuff that we had to do. So, please give it a download. Gonna be going up in 2 hours. I already have it because I helped make it. So, what's up? I'm gonna go get it printed actually right now, and I'm gonna have it physically on my wall. You are free to print it. You're allowed to do it. Do not sell it though, because that would make you a poopy person. Don't sell it. We did it for free, so you shouldn't make money off of it. That sucks. Bye! If you guys like the readings, let me know, and I'll continue doing them. Next up will be chapter 4. So, let me know.